The brightest star in our hemisphere visible to our eye is a star called Spdt. We in English call it Sirius A. And Sirius A is a binary star system, and some believe a trinary star system. It has a heavy, dense star that travels around the bright star. So Sirius is the brightest star in the sky. Sirius is known to be twice as bright as the second brightest star. Cannabis Nubis is the second brightest star, and Spdt is actually twice as bright as the second bright star in the sky. Sirius is known also by the name of the dog star because it is part of the constellation Canis Major, which is Latin for greater dog. The name Sirius stems from the Greek word Sirios, meaning scorching or glowing. So when they saw this star, like it was just glowing and scorching, they said Sirius. Okay, so that was Sirius, just means scorching or glowing in Greek. Okay, so that's how we named, that's why that name Sirius came in. We called it Spdt. Okay, and Spdt, our year divide was broken up by this particular star. Our star, Ra, is a medium-sized star. Half the stars in the sky that you look at is larger than our star. Okay, but we love it because that's the star that's giving us life. So we named our star Ra. Okay, so each of the stars have a particular name. When this star becomes visible, there's a time when the winter solstice comes, just before the winter solstice, the star looks like it doesn't rise anymore, like it's still. And so they consider that stillness, and it's still for 3 days. They consider that stillness a form of death. And then after that, it begins to rise 1 degree and 1 degree each day. Then that's the 25th, the 26th, right? So that's when we're celebrating the Kemety New Year. So I'm just trying to let you know, they looked at this as a little death when the star looked like it hit the horizon and sunk and stayed there for 3 days. And that's why the Christians had Jesus resurrect the way he did, because he's imitating our holiday that we were worshiping already. And after the 3rd day, he rose. Sirius A rose after the 3rd day. And then you see the constellation. That's the disciples, the wise men who came to visit. All we're talking about is astronomy and astrology. Astronomy is the study of the star, heavenly bodies in the star. And astrology is how those heavenly bodies in the sky affect us as human beings on Earth. So you understand the 2 different phenomena. So when this happened, we call this Renpet. Now in ancient time, this phenomenon happened the same time the great monsoon floods came from up south in the highlands, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya. And that water rushed into the Nile, causing the inundation system. So when Sirius A rose that 3rd day, that would be the time of the Great Flood. And later they would call this the inundation period. So water is rising literally 40, 50 feet above sea level. In some cases in the Great Flood, maybe 80, 90 feet. So people had to move to these highlands. All of this would be totally underwater during the inundation. And it would remain like that for months. And then it would begin to seep back down. And then once it was totally down, we knew that it was planting season. So this became a season of contemplation. You were forced to go on vacation here. So you had a 3-month vacation, whether you wanted it or not. But let me explain something. This became a time where great meditation took place. This became a time where the priests led great meditations and inspiration. This was a time where things were inventions, because you had this contemplation of time. And so it was all utilized. You couldn't plant, you couldn't farm, very little construction could go on, during this time. So it became a time where you just began to relax and contemplate the heavens. Very few people on the planet Earth had a luxury like that, where they had, like, you already prepared for it. So you had plenty of food, you had everything that you need, and all you had to do was chill for 2 or 3 months for the Nile to go down. And so during this time, it was great innovation.